Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Shelly. Hi. So we just started. I just gave an update. I mean a broad strokes update and then you update from the GI side. Kasi ang aming plano was we'll just keep the stent for now. The overall impression is more gallbladder stone disease and then cholangitis, kaya thick-walled rather than a malignancy. So maybe when the medical problems are all settled, we can think about reassessing the bile duct and then a possible cholecystectomy, which we can discuss, of course. Tapos I was gonna ask Dr. Said from Pulmonary kasi si Ralph has to be at the CHED meeting to update us on the lung condition.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Dr. Said po. I'm the fellow of Dr. Ralph Villalobos. So on the pulmo side, we were on board on patient Gosse on the fourth hospital day po because of referral of dyspnea and desaturation po. So upon assessment po, we assessed that patient is having hospital-acquired pneumonia, and at the same time, patient is having a COPD in acute exacerbation. Initially po, our patient is on 3 to 4 LPM po with a nasal cannula, and patient is on piperacillin tazobactam. We also started the patient po with bronchodilators with salbutamol and ipratropium, initially at Q6, and we also started the patient po on hydrocortisone, 100 milligrams IV Q8. After that po, I think after a day, patient was noted to have increasing oxygen requirements. So we decided to shift po the antibiotics from piperacillin tazobactam to now on meropenem na po tayo with 5 doses na po. So that's day 1 plus 2. And then we also added, actually the patient has episodes of exacerbation po like last night. So on top of the hydrocortisone po na 100 milligrams IVQ8, we also added budesonide po na 500 micrograms for the nebule every 12 hours. And you also increase po the nebulization with a salbutamol and ipratropium po to every 4 hours po. I think what the good thing lang po is initially when we hooked the patient po to high flow, we started the patient po on 40 liters per minute and the FiO2 po of 100%. But today po, we were able to, for the past 2 days, we were able to titrate down naman po our settings of the high flow nasal cannula po to 30 and 30 liters per minute and an FiO2 po of 50%. If we try to compare naman po the x-rays that done for the patient po from August 18 compared to August 23, there was a minimal improvement naman po on the infiltrates that were seen on the initial, or I mean the baseline chest x-ray by the patient of the patient po.
Okay, so actually you were involved before pa the ERCP. I think you treated him as an exacerbation at that time and agreed to the piperacillin, which we had started for possible cholangitis.
Yes, sir.
And he had worsening of dyspnea. The night after the day of the ERCP, and the meropenem was started then, and then a repeat X-ray showed worsening infiltrates in the right lower lobe, and you escalated to meropenem and placed him on high flow the next day, or overnight actually. So the impression now we're treating him for HAP as well as COPD exacerbation. Is that what we're treating him for?
Yes, sir. Yes, folks, sir.
Okay. And we seem to have an improvement clinically in terms of oxygen requirement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes po. This is also supported po with our ano po, ABG monitoring naman po. We have
Okay.
an improving PFRs naman, sir.
Okay. Sige. All right. So the goal now is to continue antibiotics and steroids and titrate down the
Now, yes, sir.
oxygen
Yes po,
requirement.
sir. And eventually po baka ma-wean off natin yung patient po with high flow nasal cannula po.
Okay. Sige. Yes. Uh-huh. Mm. Baka kay ano natin itanong kay Giselle. Oo. But
Yes. So far po, ma'am, will actually depend po sa clinical po na improvement ni sir. Definitely po will titrate down naman po. Depende po sa clinical status ni sir. Usually naman, along with the steroids po and our bronchodilators naman po, we usually titrate down naman po. We usually monitor the patient po, the need for titrating down the bronchodilators together po with the steroids po.
Janus, can I add?
yes, kasi Giselle, ano ba siya nag-heart
Ano,
failure ba siya?
hindi na siya ganun ka-tachycardic. Today, he was in the 70s na. I think nag-kick in na yung antibiotics and the steroid.
Oo.
At saka yung
Rin ba siya,
decongestion.
Giselle?
Yes, heart failure with reduced EF. His ejection fraction dropped from 50s in Medical City just less than a month ago,
Oo
to
nga.
ngayon parang 30s na lang. Hence, yung elevation ng NT-proBNP can totally be attributed to the renal insufficiency and to the infection. I think meron rin talagang FREF. So, ang ginawa namin, well, we're happy that Coralie increased the diuretic. We maintained the perindopril, although with the possibility of upgrading to Entresto once cleared by nephro. For the heart rate, we gave him ivabradine over beta blocker because of the COPD acute exacerbation. And yung blood thinner, apixaban, we gave it for the AFib. But right now, I agree, much improved. Nung isang day mukhang insubatable na yung itsura niya. But today, more comfortable. And the improvement in the heart rate for me is a sign na talaga nag-improve na rin yung overall status niya.
So Giselle, do we have to think about an acute event like an ACS? Bakit bumagsak yung, or ano lang siya, nag-decompensate lang?
Hindi na kami nagpa-enzymes kasi parang sabi namin because of the kidney insufficiency, parang we would be misled. So we just relied on the echo na parang more of global naman yung kanyang hypokinesia. And we managed more along the lines of heart failure rather than an ACS. Although you're right, I can't totally rule out na may underlying coronary etiology rin. But short kasi of doing imaging, some more imaging like either nuclear imaging, it's really hard to tell one from the other.
Okay, so siguro once he's more stable, we can investigate some more or ganon. Oo.
Oo, yung problem lang sa nuclear imaging, yung dipyridamole na ginagamit might exacerbate his COPD and the AEF. Pag naman Dobue stress echo, I'm not sure he will tolerate the increase in heart rate very well. Pag coroangio naman, yung die. So parang ang dami rin limiting factors as far as working him up further. So parang I thought it best to just manage medically as best we can.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Tapos, Ma'am Coralie, yung kaating kidneys po, ma'am.
Yeah, so definitely there is some degree of renal insufficiency The reason I initially started him on diuretics is fellow told me that there was an increase in edema na hindi nawawala, no? And then there was a finding of some possible congestion on X-ray. So initially we gave just diuretics, then we decided to add albumin. And then when I saw him, I think I saw him Tuesday, he was very agitated. But at that time, he had just received nebulization and was given an extra dose of diuretic that evening. And it looks like the output picked up. Okay, but just a little caution because his bilirubin is probably not it interferes with creatinine determination. So he might really have a higher creatinine than we actually see based on the bilirubins. So just a caution. But I'm happy that today his output is much better. At least yesterday the output improved.
Hopefully po, the bilirubin will start to decrease.
Hopefully, yeah.
And ano ba yun? We haven't been able to get labs pa kasi yung struggle with getting labs. I think nakuha na ba Nico today?
Yes sir, na-extract ko
Nakuha
nung
na.
early afternoon po. Yes
Okay.
po.
And then we'll discuss the access issue a little bit later siguro. Sige ma'am, thank you ma'am. So we'll just continue with diuretics and
Yes,
albumin po
for now.
ngayon. And then we're giving nutrition naman. Well, hopefully he's tolerating it. So hopefully that should help with the albumin, but I'm sure this will be a problem for a while, the albumin, the low albumin with his current illness. Opo. So thank you, ma'am. And then who else? Oh, ayun, yun na. Neurology, pero parang baka the encephalopathy issue, the on and off delirium.
Good afternoon po, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Dr. Jokino's resident po. She can't be with us here today po. But first, Sir Fernando po, he was referred to us po for episodes po of disorientation. And based on our history po, these started po noong August 19. And on review po of the charts, it's coincident po with long-term, medyo matagal pong use ng tramadol for him. And aside from that po, there are multifactorial causes po for the sensorium and the delusions po. We postulate po that his sensorium right now may be from several insults, the sepsis, it could be drug-induced po from tramadol, delayed excretion of tramadol, because we note that the tramadol po was stopped on the 21st. Dr. Jokino is also considering po if the piptazo, which was started on the same day that the delusion started, could also be contributory po to the delusions, as well as may possible metabolic component po from the hyperbilirubinemia. We've discussed po the option po of sedating Sir to improve his sleep kasi Sir has not been sleeping very well for the past few days. Pero Dr. Jokino po has stated po that it might make assessing his sensorium difficult po, and we might not catch po important changes in sensorium if we start him on sedatives. If okay po with Dr. Yusay, we actually propose to at least start maybe melatonin po to help po Sir Fernando with his sleep. We also discussed po with the family po and with Dr. Jokino the option po of doing an MRI of the brain and spine po, just to work up po for possible metastasis. Although since we're not highly considering cholangiocarcinoma po, this might be less likely and be less of a priority for now po. So I think the current issues po, the medical issues po, are more of a priority right now. Another note lang po that Dr. Jokino wanted to bring up po was the back pain po that Sir Fernando complains of. We'd actually like to suggest po referral to either the pain service po or the palliative service if okay with the family.
Okay. Sige. So yung yeah, the consideration of a malignancy is much less. So maybe we can maybe we'll think about that when everything simmers down na. And I have no objections to melatonin, although baka non-pharmacologic methods would be better. Reorienting him, ganon. Pero yun nga, a lot of work for the bantay, no? Shelly. Oo. Oo. So, you're coming tomorrow? Okay. I gave you some lead. I gave you a lead for PDN. Nakita mo yon? Okay. Okay. Well, pag natanggal naman yung high flow, baka hindi naman very important. Pero I think it still helps. Okay. Dr. Salamat. Wait, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Ah, well, ang magiging ano niyan is narcotic. Oo. Kasi kung, oo. Yeah. We can discuss when we refer. I don't know kung sino mas magandang referan na pain na specialist. So I'll talk to you once I get some recommendations. Um, well, do you want to refer to plastics? We'll refer to Dido for the para may nagtumitingin-tingin nung niya, yung kanyang oo, kasi ako, yan ang isang problema, baka lumala, no? I don't know.
Venus, nakita ko. I saw it. I saw
Okay.
the bed sore.
Oo.
Grade 2.
Grade 2
Grade
na.
2.
Oo. So baka magandang
Parang grade 2 pero dry naman. Kaya lang yung pain niya, hindi nga ako sure eh. Parang iba na yung pain niya ngayon, Michelle. Hindi na katulad nung sa medical city na abdominal pain. Parang more back pain. Parang back pain. So, hindi ko alam kung baka ibang problem na.
may compression fracture daw kasi siya sa back. 'Di ba, Shelly? No? Ah, okay. Baka naman pwedeng konting